Today's book details the events and experiences that made the author change his way of thinking and made him utterly convinced of a life after death. Hello, this is Claire and welcome back to my channel, Claire the Bibliophile. Today I'll be doing a review of the book Proof of Heaven, a neurosurgeon's journey into the afterlife written by Dr. Eben Alexander. This is a book I read a long time ago, probably along the same time I started reading, so like maybe 12 or 13. So when I first read the book, I was like, okay, and then I put the book away. I didn't think of it much, I didn't see or appreciate the wholeness of what the author was trying to say to me. But anyway, the book stayed in my shelves all these years until last week when I decided to do a review on this book and reread it. Let me tell you, my opinion about this book has changed in the last couple of years. Our author, Dr. Eben Alexander, is a neurosurgeon, as you may have noticed from the title. In his many years of practicing medicine, he has come across several patients who had NDEs or a near-death experience. They say they've been to a spiritual plane where they met their dead relatives, they met God or other spiritual beings. And the author was a person who believed in science. He was a person who believed in facts and things he could see and believe. He was of the opinion that what the patient saw was real to them, that is, it was created by their brain, it does not exist. It was something that was just created by their brain due to trauma or due to medication, due to other external reasons. So our author didn't believe in anything that he couldn't see and observe for himself. So that meant he didn't believe in God, he didn't believe in anything spiritual, he didn't even believe in a life after death. So all of this beliefs of his was about to change one fine morning. On the morning of November 10, 2008, the author woke up with a headache and a pain in his lower back. He didn't think much of it, he thought that it would go away, but it didn't. In a couple of hours, the author was at the hospital, and in another couple of hours, he was in a coma. The doctors were confused as to what was causing this apparent issue with the author. They did some tests and came to the understanding that he was suffering from a gram-negative bacterial meningitis. It's a very rare disease in adults because it's mostly present in younger infants, really small infants. And even when adults do contract the disease, it is after they have gone through some kind of surgery in their brain. It's only then that they usually contract this disease. And the doctors couldn't find how he contracted it, and that was an issue itself. But the other thing was, because it was a gram-negative bacterial meningitis, that thing would not respond to medication, it would not respond to antibiotics. And so with every day he was staying in coma, the author's brain was becoming more damaged and the chances of him waking up was getting reduced by each day. And even if he did wake up, the chances of him being in a vegetative state was rather high. But 7 days later, something miraculous happened. The doctors had no idea how it happened, but the author woke up. And he woke up a changed man with a completely unbelievable experience that he was extremely excited to share with the rest of the world. One of the most fascinating things about this book is the fact that the author had this particular experience. That is, the author is a person who didn't believe in any of this, and he is also a neurosurgeon. It means that him having this experience means that he can aptly explain how this can't be explained by scientific research or science. And I'd like to quote a part from the book itself in the prologue, what he says. I just talk to you in his own words. Mine was in some ways a perfect storm of near-death experiences. As a practicing neurosurgeon with decades of research and hands-on work in the operating room behind me, I was in a better than average position to judge not only the reality, but also the implications of what happened to me. Those implications are tremendous beyond description. My experience showed me that the death of the body and the brain are not the end of consciousness, that human experience continues beyond the grave. So, you see, the most fascinating thing about this book is the fact that it happened to the author. Because of his scientific background and because of his awareness about the brain, he can say that there's literally no scientific explanation for what happened to him. And the more unique thing is, while the author was in a coma, his neurocortex was not functioning, as in it was not just damaged, it was not functioning irregularly, no, it was not functioning at all. And that meant there was really no way he could have had those experiences, had those clear, vivid, unbelievable experiences. And that of itself should be enough proof for those who are not intrigued enough by the story. So for people who want scientific explanations, for people who want actual things they can rely on, yeah, you can find that in this book as well, because unlike the normal sort of books where people talk about having had experience like this, in this one, the author clearly explains from a scientific point of view what happened to him and how it can't be explained. I mean, to put it simply, there's even a chapter, there's a whole chapter towards the end where he talks about all the possible reasons for him having this experience, and then he tells like, for these and these reasons, this is not true. So he validly, scientifically crosses off each possibility. And I really liked it, and I really enjoyed being able to understand this. As a child, when I read this, I was not so understanding of the scientific part of the book, as in, for me, the story itself was enough. I could see the point, as in, the doctor got sick, something miraculous happened, he came back to life with some sort of crazy experience. At the time, I was not paying much attention to the scientific part, but now I understood it a lot better, and I can see and appreciate exactly what the author is trying to tell me. There were two other things that I noticed in my reading this time around that I didn't notice the last time. And the first one is the writing. I mean, see, let me tell you, when I was younger, I wasn't really paying attention to these things. But now I'm starting to pay attention to this, and I'm realizing how I could have missed these beautiful writing. The author writes in a way that you get seriously hooked on each of his sentences. He's put down his thoughts into these perfect sentences that's really satisfying to read. The author puts down his thoughts in these really well-structured sentences, and I find it really pleasing, really enjoyable to read them. And it's all through the book, not just the beginning, and he writes in such a way that you're totally hooked to see what's going to happen next, what's going to happen in the next chapter. And he ends each chapter with this sort of punchline that makes you wanting for more. He says, he just gives you I really like to tell you, give you an example, but it'll probably take something out of the book's whole feeling, okay? So I'm not going to say it. But at the end of every chapter, you read the last sentence and you're like, oh my God, I need to read the next chapter. And this particular aspect of the book was made better by the fact that the author alternates between chapters. For example, in one chapter, he'll be talking about the physical aspect, as in what is happening at the hospital, what is happening with his family, what is happening with his body. In the next chapter, he'll be talking about the spiritual aspect, that is, what he's experiencing on the spiritual realm. And because he alternates like this, and because each chapter ends with a punchline, you just want to finish the book as soon as possible, as easy as you can, so because you want to know how it all ends, how it happened. So I really enjoy these things, and I can't believe I never noticed it when I read it before. And I'll probably be rereading the book just to make sure that I get the whole thing, because like towards the end of the book, the last chapter, it's like kind of, philosophical maybe. So I'm not sure I've still gotten the entire meaning of what the author's trying to say. I mean, I understood it, but I think I need to think about it a lot more. So this is not the author's only book. This is the first book of this awesome journey. But he's written 3 more books. After Proof of Heaven, it comes Seeking Heaven, The Map Way to Heaven, and Living in a Mindful Universe. And I'm assuming that will be about his journey, trying to find more about the spiritual realm, trying to find more about people's experience, I'm assuming. I haven't been able to go through them. But the author has his official website, so I'll be leaving that in my description. So if you want to go check out about his works, his books, what he's currently doing right now, you will be able to do it. So check it out if you're interested. I'll also be leaving the purchase links of this book on Amazon in case you want to buy it. It's a great book, pretty great book. You'll find something really good from it. Before I finish off this review, there's something I'd like to tell you, and it's that if you have read a book and felt like you don't like it or you don't understand it, or if you read a book and stopped halfway through and it's still there waiting years after years later, I suggest you go and read it and give it a go, because you might like it this time around. You might be able to understand the book better, because as much as the book needs to be right for you, you also need to be ready to understand or listen to what the book is telling you. So if you have books like that, if you have books you haven't read or have tried and quit, I say you just give it a chance. Maybe you don't like it, maybe it's a book you truly don't like, but just give it a chance. Maybe you like it. So that's pretty much it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to me talk about a book. Yeah, that's all for today. Have a great day. Bye.